My name is David Daniel Ball, and these are the headlines for Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2009. Dead bikie caught up in bitter love triangle. Killed bikie linked to police stabbing. Man crushed, 4 injured by falling steel. Rudd, Obama reaffirm close ties. AAA rating in doubt, but voters will understand, says Nathan Rees. First home buyers expected to continue heating up market. Sex scenes with Clive Owen were hideous, says Julia Roberts. Harry Potter stars receive special invite from Michael Jackson. And in comments, justice for Pauline Hanson seems unlikely. Pauline Hanson has been treated appallingly by media, culminating in the ridiculous nude photos claim, but is still unlikely she'll receive real justice, according to Alan Jones. And that is sad but true, Alan. For Pauline to have had justice, she would have needed to have been born in Bangladesh or Afghanistan or North Korea. Time and a Place by Tim Blair. Even atheists will pray if they're in troubled aircraft, but you don't generally expect the pilot and co-pilot to join in. An Italian court has jailed a Tunisian pilot who paused to pray instead of taking emergency measures before ditching his plane, killing 16 people. A fuel gauge faulty was partly to blame for the crash off Sicily in 2005, but judges convicted Shafiq Gabi of manslaughter, jailing him for 10 years. 6 others, including the co-pilot and head of the airline, Tuninter, were jailed for between 8 and 10 years. That BBC report declines to name the co-pilot. An aviation site is more informative. A court in Palermo, Sicily, has sentenced Captain Shafiq Al-Gabi and co-pilot Ali Kabeir Lassoud to 10 years in prison for failing to take adequate emergency measures before the crash, landing their Tuninter ATR-72 turboprop into the sea. The court said Al-Gabi and Lassoud prayed instead of trying to land the airplane. Neither man is identified by Reuters. Theresa Brennan strikes again. Further trouble for Marcus Einfeld. Police are considering laying more charges against disgraced former federal court judge Marcus Einfeld after he was pictured in an ABC documentary not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a chauffeur-driven car. Maybe it was someone else. Tahu Suj plots you'll eventually have to turn the lights back on, warns Earth Hour non-enthusiast Tez Suj. I'm going to sneak into someone's house and hide in their shower with a knife. Whoa. To avoid unpleasant homicide, simply leave your lights on this Saturday night and celebrate the hour of power instead. That way nobody gets hurt. And an update, annoying children, second-tier celebrities, United Nations drones, and the disembodied head of a language-capable alien all support Earth Hour. Makes it even easier not to. He's back in the game. George Monbiot, recently inclined to give up on global warming and accept whatever nature throws at him, now fears the introduction of India's Tato Nano. What it represents, however, is more ominous. This marks the beginning of mass private transport in the world's second largest population. India's carbon dioxide emissions per capita at 1.2 tons are just 12% of the United Kingdom's. A hulking nano looms ominously yesterday. Texas Watch'em. It's the border-hopping game that anyone can play. The United States has unveiled an unlikely weapon in its battle against drug gangs and illegal immigrants at the Texas-Mexico border, pub-goers in Australia. The drinkers are, most part, far-flung of a sizable army of high-tech foot soldiers recruited to assist the border protection effort. So far, more than 100,000 web users have signed up online to become virtual patrol deputies, according to Don Ray, executive director of the Texas Border Sheriff's Coalition, which represents 20 counties where illegal crossings and drug and weapon smuggling are rife. We had folks send an email saying, in good Australian fashion, "Hey mate, we've been watching your border for you from the pub in Australia," he said. Sustain aside, happy Earth Hour now died. Jonathan Porritt, one of the Gordon Brown's leading Green advisors, to warn that Britain must drastically reduce its population if it is to build a sustainable society. Briefly Popular by James Morrow, a brief history of the brief Obama presidency now entering sad mode, which, who knows, could turn out to be brief. Earth Coping. Lee Massell happens to believe in human-caused global warming, it's just that he doesn't think it matters. And in an update, Professor Ross Garneau cranks up the environmental excitement via Cuckoo, who asks, is it just me or does Ross sound like Spike Milligan's impression of a doddery-dithery old uncle? Give Ray a big hand. A bloke from Adelaide makes a video for YouTube. It goes viral and in its various versions gets some 1.5 million hits. Within days, he's booked for David Letterman. Career takes off, performs for the Queen. What a wonderful world. Thank you for bringing that up, Andrew Bolt. And also from Andrew, Obama's fans crushed. Barely 2 months after the inauguration, the mainstream media has its proverbial knickers in a twist over Obama's ineptitude in office. It took them that long. Terry McCrann, no Obama fan, is just pessimistic about this solution, and elsewhere he adds, Geithner is no longer the boy genius, he's grown up into a boy. How bikies fed on our weakness. We've backed off from bikies for too long, and not just from them, we've grown so timid. The anger over the slowness of police to react to the deadly fight between bikies at Sydney's airport on Sunday is understandable, but a distraction. Here are the 4 hard questions we should be asking instead. How do these gangs get so violent that we have a bikie boss murdered in Geelong, a Good Samaritan lawyer shot dead by Hell's Angel in Melbourne CBD, bikie shootouts at Adelaide nightclubs, bikie clubhouses bombed in Sydney and Melbourne, and a dozen shootings in 2 weeks in Sydney? How do these gangs learn such disrespect for us and our laws that they now feel free to bash a man to death at Sydney Airport, one of our best guarded sites, and in front of at least 50 witnesses and 4 CCTV cameras? From which subcultures do these gangs recruit such lowlife, such violent and disconnected men? And are these bikie wars really the only symptom that something in our society has gone savagely wrong? The answers all have one thing in common. Save the planet, ban Woodstock. The next Woodstock will be different, says organizer Michael Lang. From August the 15th, 1969, an estimated 400,000 people battled through epic traffic jams to reach Max Yasgur's dairy farm near Bethel, New York State. This time around, Lang wants to put on a free and totally green event. Solution? Don't come. Einfeld honestly lies in the modern manner. Marcus Einfeld, the lying judge and human rights blowhard, is the perfect symbol of our time. More there for you at the link. Who can he blame this time? As I say above, why would he think the laws of mere mortals apply to him? Disgraced former Judge Marcus Einfeld is being investigated, and I've read about that earlier. More for you there at the link. Open theory, secret practice. John Faulkner, the Rudd's government special minister of state, says it well. A recognition has come that the best safeguards against ill-informed public judgment is not concealment, but information. There's a growing acceptance that fundamental to democracy is the right of the people to know whether a government's deeds match its words, what information it holds about them, and the information that underlies debate and informs decision-making. I'd love to hear Faulkner explain how this fits in with his excellent thesis. Senator Barnaby Joyce has launched an online petition as part of a push to torpedo China's grab for a bigger share of the mining giant Rio Tinto. The petition comes after it emerged that Prime Minister Kevin Rudd held private talks with China's 5th most powerful man, Li Chang'un, on Saturday. Chinese state-owned media were told about the visit as the lodge involving the propaganda chief of the Chinese Communist Party, but Australian journalists were kept in the dark.